everybody? Welcome to the Warrior Shrine. This is episode Trace? Is that right?
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Pretty sure it's 3. Let's say it's 3. As you might have heard, we're joined by a guest this episode. Praetor.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up?
And Tim has got some stuff to say.
I do. Well, we're going to kind of reverse it this time. With the Netherkast, usually we end the episode with 3 troll questions for our guest. We're going to begin the episode because we're doing things differently here. Because we're the Warrior Shrine and not the Nethercast, so...
It's Bizarro Cast.
It is, in all the best ways. This is the goatee version of the Nethercast. So, let's get started. Praetor, who's your favorite character?
MK?
Yep.
I'm gonna say Ermac. He's too cool.
Okay. And that
Sound
kind of
choice.
takes us into the next question. I've been playing games with you for years now, and your character choices range from Zangief, okay, Dalsim, who's a little more eclectic, not very traditional,
Right.
and then going to Ermac, who's very zony, who kind of fits the Dalsim archetype, sort of.
I approve of Dalsim, by the way.
So what do you look for? Why Ermac? Well, what's your goal?
Okay, well, when we were really, playing, when you were still living around me and we were training partners and whatnot, that was when we first really got into the fighting game scene,
Yeah.
like really competitively. And I think I was still trying to find, a niche, and I would usually pick a character that was easy to use because my execution was terrible. And Zangief, all you have to do is churn that butter, and you'll get pretty far.
And you did. I was there.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the first big local tournaments we went to was the Realms Con one, and I got third just by mashing 3 punches and churning butter for pile driver.
Yeah, I remember that.
And but eventually, as time went on, I found out that I really prefer more rushdown style characters. Like in Guilty Gear, I love Slayer. He's got big buttons. He wants to come at you. He's got that little command grab, mix up thing going on, and he's just a really fun character. And then in BlazBlue, I play Azrael, who's kind of Slayer 2.0. That is the most fun character ever. If Azrael was in every fighting game, I'd be playing that character.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh God, I love him. He was the character that Dogura used in the BlazBlue Grand Finals of EVO last year. And if you haven't watched the BlazBlue Grand Finals from last year, you need to. You owe it to yourself.
I have seen it.
I'm speaking generally to the audience.
He's speaking to me. I need to watch it.
You do, Django.
You do. I mean,
Okay, it's on the list.
it's better if you know something about BlazBlue, but it was just such a tense moment and such a it was so good that you can appreciate it even if you don't know a thing about BlazBlue. But anyway, so yeah, I've come to find out that I really do like the rushdown characters, and I think, like, sadly, I'm probably going to be shelving Ermac and MKX because I'm really enjoying Johnny Cage right now.
Well, I'm glad you said that and not Devora. That makes me much happier to hear.
No, I mean, it's a toss-up between her and Johnny Cage. I'm having more fun with Johnny Cage, but I think Devora's the better character. So I'm going to put in work with both of them.
Which is good. I always think you should kind of have a roster of characters you use. But, okay, so those questions were kind of tied together. Third question is, I think, sort of the big question. And it's no secret that you were critical of MK9. So Here we are with MKX. Where does MKX kind of stand? Because we've both been playing fighting games for a long time. Where does MKX hang in terms of the fighting games you like and dislike? Not so much where does it rank, but did it hit all the spots? I mean, did it meet your expectations? Is it the fighting game you wanted? And if so, where is it at?
It's really fun. It's the best Mortal Kombat ever. Okay? I mean, story, whatever, but in terms of the actual game, it's the best Mortal Kombat ever. And I'm still disappointed that NetherRealm can't quite smoothen out stuff. I mean, let's be honest, MK controls very different from any other fighting game out there. Like, there's just things you got to get used to when playing MK.
With hit stun especially, I feel like is a big problem. Hit stun is so unintuitive of when I'm allowed to attack and when I'm still in a stun state.
And I mean, even just right down to the actual controls. Like, I mean, I get bad inputs in MK more than any other game.
Well, they made it worse too. In MK9, I feel like controls felt better. In this game, I feel like jumping punches just don't connect for some reason. Like I'll link the jumping punch to my standing normal, and it won't count as a combo, and I don't fucking know why.
Well, see, I mean, the hitboxes are different, that's for sure. They really changed up. Not everybody has a universal jump in too. You know, they're different. You got to learn the differences between the characters. But it's more the stuff like, you know, I'll go be down one-ing with Johnny Cage, and then I'll go to do something else, and all of a sudden Fireball comes out. And I'm like, God, I didn't want that. You know? It just... The way they handle inputs is weird. It's like Street Fighter input shortcuts on crack.
Yeah, that was a big problem. That was one of the biggest criticisms I had with MK9. You can't really turn it off without going to alternate controls, which I think have their own
I don't want to go to half circle motions.
No one does, and apparently everyone felt that way, and NetherRealm didn't do anything about it, which I get.
I've never had a problem with back to forward motions. It's the fireball motions that screw me over.
I just hate half circles in general. A lot of things in Street Fighter V changed to half circles, and I think they should have just gone even further. But anywho, so what is your favorite fighting game in comparison to MKX? Because it sounds like there's still some jankiness to it. What would you compare it to? Like, this is what MKX should do.
I mean, I want MK to be MK. I want it to do its own thing, you know. I just wish it controlled better. I mean, I really love how it's like this hybrid. It's a 2D fighter, but it has some very 3D fighter feels to it. You know, there's a very your turn, my turn kind of thing going on,
which I like.
You know, yeah, it's very unique. I just wish it was more polished in the dang controller.
Yeah,
like that's one of the funniest things to come out of this was a Xian, who was the Evo 2013 Street Fighter champion, the Gen player.
Oh yeah,
he picked up MKX and he was tweeting about it, and like he was having trouble with the basic chain to cancel special, you know, because he was trying to do it, you know, intuitively where you hit the buttons and you visually confirm it to a cancel. But he was like, nope. do I just have to input it as fast as I can? Yeah, you know.
Justin Wong had that problem too with MK9. But you know who really likes this game, supposedly? Who was saying on Twitter that he just thinks it's, like, fun as hell?
Who's that?
GamerBee.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. That's the kind of person I want on Team MK, but...
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players.
Infiltration likes the game, but he says he can't do the gore, so he won't play it.
Man.
Yeah. Which I admire. That's a respectable stance.
I didn't realize he was a dad from the 90s. So.
No, well, doesn't he kind of look like a dad from the 90s, to be fair? Doesn't he kind of rock that out anyway?
Well, did you see him singing Backstreet Boys on his stream?
I did not know that was a thing, no. I was not aware of that.
He's a quirky dude, so I'll give him that.
Good for him. And that pretty much covers everything I have for questions. Tournament. Oh, actually, we could go to tournaments. There's a lot to fucking talk about. There's patch notes, there's tournaments, there's option selects. Where do you guys even want to fucking start?
You want to start with the tournaments?
Yes.
Because, man, it's all Sonic Fox and Yomi.
Yeah.
With a splash of Dizzy.
Well, even Yomi, I think you could even narrow that down to, like, DJT especially. Because DJT is doing crazy stuff right now, and I'm loving it.
Every single top 8 from these past majors, like Midwest Championships, it was 7 Yomi people and then one other guy who I can't remember. But that was top 8. It was 7 Yomi and one other guy.
It makes sense. I mean, if you bunk with your fighting game teammates, I imagine something good would happen.
Yeah.
In fighting games.
Okay.
To qualify that statement.
I mean, and the thing is that Team Yomi, they have Everybody except for a few GGA guys and Sonic Fox. Otherwise, it's everybody of who's who in MK.
And I wonder how long even GGA is going to last because it's Nicholas, it's Dizzy, and I feel like I'm leaving a big one out. And Pimpin' Jim. And I think
Oh yeah, PPJ, yeah.
two of those guys use characters that I think are being farmed out, that they're very good, like Devora and
Hmm.
Raiden, but we get them now. We know what we're up against. And Nicholas uses Ermac, who I think is a strong character, but he's not a great character. He's
I
not an unfair character,
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Nicholas switch pretty soon.
which would make me sad
It
because
make me sad too, but I don't think Ermac has what it takes to succeed at the high level in this game. Like, if MKX had a subtitle, like Mortal Kombat X colon, it'd be Mortal Kombat X colon hold that shit edition.
yeah.
And your capacity to be a good character is all hinged upon how much you can make them hold that shit. So like I'm Tempest Kung Lao. I do what's the string?
I use a couple. I use 11212 and I use back 321. That
The
the back
back
three.
3-2 is the one that we always see. So you go back 3-2-1, Hatalite. I call it Hatalite
Yeah,
because I'm
that's
not calling
about
it hat spin because hat spin is spin. Okay, so it's back 3-2 hat, back 3-2 EX hat, and you just got to hold that, right? Sonya, okay, I got a knockdown. Here's a 50-50. You got to hold that. Aaron Black, you got to hold everything of Aaron Black.
Yeah, you're cupping him the whole fucking match, and that's actually one thing I don't like about this game. I don't mind the hold that when it comes to the Hatalite. That I think is cool because it makes sense, but the ridiculous amount of 50-50s in this game, it grows tiresome.
Yeah, I think we're getting away from it, because we're starting to see the success with Kung Lao, who's not a 50-50 character. But anyway, but back to my original point, you get to Ermac, and he hits you with a force ball, and then he does back 1-2, and now he gets a 50-50, and you have to hold that or block it and get a full punish.
That's a
Like,
gigantic OR. That's a capital OR. So
like that's the only capacity Ermac really has for you to hold that. He's way too unsafe, I think. Like, you can play him sort of safe, but then you might as well just pick a different character because just go to Aaron Black and do the string into the EX Sandball. It's a safe combo starter.
I would say
And it's plus, so I get another mix up off of it. Why would I play Ermac when I can do that?
well because he's cool, right? I mean that has to matter somewhat at the end of the day, right?
I mean, this is the Warrior Shrine. We're talking about winning, right? Like,
Yeah, but if that were the case, everyone would use Devora and Raiden and Aaron Black, and so we do see some mid-tier characters
no,
that are doing rather well.
I adore the character loyalists. I just don't think Ermac is even in character loyalist territory. Like,
Okay.
I mean, it'd be one thing if I thought he was like Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is a really good character. And the clone, you got to hold that. But the clones, you can work around that. I mean, he has some weaknesses and some holes, and I think he's more in the mid tier of the cast. But a character loyalist can take Sub-Zero freaking far.
Yes. Well, another thing about Grandmaster is pre-patch. I don't think he was mid-tier at all. I think he was clear top 10,
Oh no,
possibly top 5.
yeah, he was stupid.
He was
The clone was
ridiculous.
stupid.
And oh my god, we could do a whole episode on Clone to be honest with you. But the thing with Sub-Zero is people act like he doesn't have other variations and it pisses me off. Like Cryomancer is really good in my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that variation. He's got great 50-50s that are safe with meter. His low is completely safe with meter. And with the option select, you don't even have to use the meter. If the meter exists, you have a safe fucking setup. And he's got good meterless damage. He's got a really good fucking forward 1-2. Yeah, it's plus it's 15 startup, but you're -0. So and you can confirm off it easily into 28%. Nothing. If it connects, you just lost 28% of your life or your breaker. I think Cryomancer's amazing. But
It doesn't have clone, and the damage boost you get from Cryomancer is not enough to negate the clone.
no,
It'd be
that's true.
it'd be one thing if like the one thing Ermac does have is he has great meterless damage. He might have the best meterless damage in the game.
Well, actually, I
But
take that back. Oh, go on. I'll let you finish.
so like if Sub-Zero was pushing like Cryomancer Sub-Zero was pushing like 34-35% meterless mid-screen, then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a hell of a trade-off to lose clone for. But it's clone is like amazing even with the nerfs.
Yeah, well, the problem with clone is that I feel like it's a little glitched right now, which kind of makes it even worse.
Oh,
Than
you're
it
talking about
seems supposed
the
to be.
Raiden Superman?
Well, it's a lot of characters too. I don't even think it's just Raiden anymore. But on
Really?
top of
Oh.
that, his damage is so bad. Sub Zero has to work his ass off for what, 23%? I mean, it's his damage is just bad. So
It's 23% and insane, control. I mean, I don't think the extra few percent from Cryomancer is worth it.
I think it's the same control, but once the corner game happens, I feel like the chart of what can and can't happen has gotten just so ridiculous because he has to be 10 times more careful, and he basically can't get any sort of blocks done or that shit's done, and they're out of that corner. So
Yeah.
I think he's a hard worker. I think he's a very good character, but I don't think Cryomancer's a hard worker. I think if Cryomancer gets in, guess bitch, and then you fucking get a combo going. That's Cryomancer. So, and
The
he,
one thing Cryomancer does have is in the corner, it's got back two into forward four to throw. The stab. That's 37%.
oh yeah, you can make it
That's
42 by what I do offline is back two, back 1-2 EX ice freeze, neutral jump punch, forward punch, then forward 4-2. God, that's so hard to remember. Stabby, he does stabby.
stabby, yeah.
So yeah, that's
How much is that?
that's about 42%, I believe.
42. Respectable for a meter.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sub-Zero, that one guy, the one non-Yomi player at Midwest Championships was Wound Cowboy. So
Oh yeah.
very good.
Although he dropped, I believe, Sub Zero for what I'm understanding for Shinnok. So that'll be
And
interesting.
why not?
Yeah.
Shinnok is another hold that character. You blocked my Hellspark. I'm meter burning it. Hold it.
Yeah, no, if he has meter, you're in the realm of hold it.
Yeah.
You're in the hold it bone cage, so. What were we talking about before Sub Zero?
Tournaments.
Tournaments, yeah.
I tried to bring it back by mentioning Wound Cowboy, but
Yeah, so, God, it just. Sonic Fox is dominating and is dominating, so. I just feel like players have two mentalities against Sonic Fox. It's either he's got an amazing rushdown, so I got to do my thing before they do theirs, and they get blown up by his whip punishing and defensive options. That's the wrong mentality. The other wrong mentality is I can't make a mistake. I will just block, and then Sonic Fox just fucking,
you're touching upon two of my bullet points here that I had coming into this show. Number one is I don't know how true it is anymore. If anybody out there really thinks Sonic Fox is not good or doesn't have fundamentals, I don't know if there's anybody out there that still believes that. I really hope not.
Even the Capcom guys are like, yeah, he's good.
I mean, you watch him play, you just watch his spacing and his footsies. He has such good spacing and footsies. He adapts to the other player lightning quick. He plays relatively error free, and when I say error, I'm using it in like the baseball term, like the official stat errors. And what I consider an error in a fighting game would be a execution error or failing to capitalize on a punish. Those are like two clear things you can point at and say his chances of winning the game or match are less, for having done that. Making a bad read, that's whatever, that's not really an error. It's just a bad read. But execution errors, that's you lost out on some damage, and failing to punish, you lost out on a bunch of damage. If someone jumps and Sonic Fox spaced it right, they're eating a full combo. You know, you can't give him chances.
And that's
He'll
kind of the common denominator of everyone who's not Sonic Fox. No one's really fully capitalizing yet. There's a lot of stuff going unpunished right now. There's a lot of combos being dropped, even by good players like Forever King and DJT.
I mean, Sonic Fox does drop combos, especially at this last tournament. He dropped more than I expected him to, but it's still he was on point most of the time.
And he was using every part of the Buffalo. He's the only Aaron Black I ever see who does the donkey kick. No one else does that.
Yeah,
And that's a
yeah.
fucking mid-screen overhead. Like
That's
not
why
a bad tool.
he knows all his tools at all times as well. I mean, I'm a bad player, so like I'll be in mid match, and then all of a sudden like I'll randomly do one of the moves I hardly ever use. I'm like, oh yeah, my character has that, and then I'll start using it like 5 times in a row, because I'm terrible. But yeah, Sonic Fox is not going to do that. He's too good.
Yes.
And you know what? He has mental fortitude. Like there's times when he gets down or gets in a crunch, and he doesn't give up, man. And he doesn't panic. He stays the course and then finishes his plate.
Well, that's one reason why I think a lot of people were skeptical of him at first, because it is clear that even though he's really good, a lot of players do lose to him because of the whole drop the soap phenomenon. It's clear that they have a mentality going in and they just break. Sonic Fox breaks people. So it's hard to see someone at their max potential when their opponents get flustered so easily, and they don't know how to deal. That's why I think players who aren't afraid to play the mid-range game with him, like, for example, East Coast Throwdown, Rio lost to Sonic Fox, but in my opinion, he played the match right. He played footsies with Sonic Fox, and not a lot of people are willing to do that. While other players are dropping the soap, Rio is just juggling like 8 bars of soap saying, what do you got for me, Fox? And he never drops it. He loses. I mean, he gets outplayed, but he plays footsies. He doesn't commit to like cash out, full rush down, do my thing before he does his. And he doesn't just get scared and block, he actually plays the game. And I feel like DJT does that to a lesser extent, but still adequately,
Yeah. If I had one complaint about Sonic Fox, it's the slide, the Aaron Black slide. That is crazy, and that should not work as often as it does.
I think that's exactly why he does it, though, because he...
No, yeah, he was commentating ECT, and he said, I do it because people don't expect it. And I'm like, that's so awful, but he's right. Don't expect it.
It's the whole idea of checking your opponent. You're trying to condition them. It's not about damage.
I mean, if you're at that range and you're playing the back and forth footsie game, you're trying to space it out. You've got to like just put it as a block in your brain. Just I got to look out for the slide. I'm not saying like sit down and hold block and crouch the entire time, but you mentally prepare yourself for it to come out so you can react to it better. And it just seems like no one's doing that.
This kind of goes back to me and my MK9 matches with Django. Django, I condition myself to slide for as long as I can. And then when I'm thinking, I can't do this. If I just crouch block for the whole round, he's going to body me. So I'm like, I have to fight the good fight. So I stand up, I let go, block, slide. Right in my fucking balls. And I'm like, damn it, Django. It happens every time. And that's, I think, the sign, to your credit, Django, of a good player. It's picking up on the mental cues. Sub-Zero 799 is also really good at that. He knows when you're scared and you're going to block, and he knows when you're getting ballsy. He's really good at picking up on that. And he's actually on BS4. You should play him sometime. But so I think Sonic Fox gets that better than anybody.
Yeah, he and if there was any doubt, you have to look at his multi-game success. Okay, when he first won MK, it was at a final round, right? That's when he really came on the scene. Was final round a couple years ago, I think.
I think so. I know last year was Waffles who won final round. But you're right. I think final round is the first time we ever saw him tear shit up. I think
it was like 2013, and if Waffles won final round MK last year, that means Sonic Fox wasn't there. Like,
yeah, I mean it was 2014 MK.
Yeah.
So,
But
Yeah, homework or something.
he was there for Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Injustice had already come out. Mortal Kombat was kind of on the decline, so that's what people took it. That's how people took it away from him. Like, oh, he won MK, but everybody moved on to Injustice, so whatever. And then he won Injustice at this same tournament, but people were like, oh, he uses Batgirl. Batgirl's a dumb character, and she is a little bit of a dumb character, but when you're that high level, you can't use that as an excuse.
Well, it's kind of like the Cabal criticism. If Cabal's so fucking good, why not? Why doesn't everyone just use Cabal and beat me?
Yeah, exactly. And then he won Fatal 8, and I'll agree with this one. Aaron Black I think Aaron Black made me so salty, but I think he's got some dumb stuff right now. He was really dumb in the Fatal 8 build. Like, he had that 1-1-2 that was a safe launcher string.
Yeah.
Like, it was like plus on block. and it was, everybody was still learning the game, whatever, So he won Fatal 8. That's credit to his adaptability. But I'm not going to christen him the greatest from just that, So then Combo Breaker happens. He gets second in a very close set. Okay? And the only person he lost to was the person who he lost to in Grand Finals.
And it wasn't really that convincing, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay Dizzy, but I think Dizzy was struggling, in my opinion.
And Dizzy was abusing forward 1-2. This was pre-nerf on the forward 1-2,
Yeah.
Dizzy's a great player, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yes.
I mean, and Eric Black has dumb stuff too, so that kind of offsets, but it was a close set. At Combo Breaker, he also won Injustice, okay, just for good measure, and he won Skullgirls, which is a completely different game from NRS games. Completely different.
Yeah, it's the modern day Marvel 2, and he took it almost, I don't want to say for free, but
no, there's a small but very dedicated scene for Skullgirls. And, I mean, you can't just jump into Skullgirls and mash buttons and do 50-50s for free. I mean, you got to know that game, and you got to have fundamentals. So any of this, no, he doesn't have fundamentals. He's just all set play. Shut up.
Yeah.
I really hope no one actually believes that anymore, especially him winning the past 2 majors.
Well, I don't think anyone does say that anymore, because the community usually has one person in it or one person in another community who, once they agree with it, it's kind of like a waterfall effect. Like, once Ultra David says something, very few intelligent people will disagree with it at that point.
Yeah, and shout out to Ultra David he was one of the first, like, real quote-unquote mainstream FGC guys to really give NRS games a chance,
Yeah, all the way since Injustice, really. Even MK9 he was a big fan of.
It took him a while.
Well, that's because he was salty, because he thought Cyrax was shit, and we all know how that turned out.
I think he, like a lot of people, just learned to love MK9 for what it was. But anyway, I think that the big knock on Sonic Fox right now is people just don't want to give him props for the EVO wins. Like, they're like, oh, well, it wasn't an official EVO tournament, so he didn't really win EVO. And I'm like, I mean, all the best players are there. So
I mean, not to put anyone on blast, but I feel like that's a test your might thing. We're such a divided, so dramatic of a community.
Yeah.
Like, my God, it's a fucking soap opera every day, all day, just on that forum, It's. But I mean, the good part about that is everyone's interested, everyone's invested. That's the positive flip side of that, I mean, there's players I wish would play who are not playing right now, and I get it. Like, I'm in that boat. As we speak, there's a tournament going on in San Antonio. I can't make it because of my work schedule.
That's sad, man.
I
feel for you.
It's sad. I'm trying to change my work schedule so I have Fridays and Saturdays off, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. If that does happen, that also means I'm working from 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. So
yeah, I mean, my tournament hopes are kind of dashed from going home and being a family man. I got 2 kids, so I can't really dedicate the time to be a top player. I mean, I was never good, and I know I never had any real hope of taking, top places at tournaments. I mean, my claim to fame is I got a very fraudulent tied for 9th place at maybe the worst major in history.
Why is that fraudulent? I think that's awesome. I wish I could have that claim.
Dude, it's fraudulent. I played one match in my 3-man pool and got out of pools.
To be
Okay.
fair, I saw you play a moderately good Nightwolf who had
That was not in
matchup
pools.
experience.
That was not in pools. In
that still
pools,
gets
it was a Cyrax who only knew how to do the bomb reset. His fundamentals were crap, and all I could do was just force push him all day.
You know, I've actually encountered that guy a few more times. His name's Fito. Yeah, he actually comes to the San Antonio scene every once in a while.
Well, I'm sure he's gotten better since then, but at that
Shout
time,
outs to Fito.
yeah, shout outs, man. But all you knew at the time was the bomb reset, and I took advantage of it and beat you. So, and then I qualified, and so now I'm in top 16, and the first person I face is that reptile, and now I could go back and beat that reptile player, but me then could not do it.
Well, it's Reptile for one thing. So even if you know the matchup, every reptile is fucking different.
Yeah,
Each
so
reptile is like its own beautiful snowflake.
Yeah, I lost to him, and then I went up against the Nightwolf guy, and I don't care if I don't know the match, whatever. He wasn't that good, man. He ate force push all day. And even if I would have beaten that reptile, I would have gone up against P-board player, and I would have gotten wrecked.
I played a lot of matches with the P-board player when I was at Texas Showdown. And I was losing so bad that he would try to teach me things in the middle of a match, and which is cool of him.
That's cool. That's cool.
But that's how you know you're sucking, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, his I don't know if they're married now or whatever, but what's her name was with him there, and she beat the heck out of me with Kung Lao, man. She's no slouch either.
Her Kano's not bad either. She plays another character, Melina. Her Melina is also really solid.
Yeah, but anyway, and then after I beat the Nightwolf player, I faced off against Eclectic, GOL Eclectic, and that dude, if you play on stick, he's listening for your buttons.
Yeah, Devin in the Corpus scene was like that with his Vega. It drove me insane.
Yeah, he's listening for buttons. So I would push something, and then all of a sudden he played Sector, and he would teleport, and I'd have to eat it. I held that shit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He beat the hell out of me, and then I was out. And so I won 2 matches total that tournament and tied for 9th place. Tell me that's not fraudulent.
All right, you convinced me.
Okay.
You made your case, sir.
That was the infamous bathroom match tournament, which we left. We went to go grab something to eat while that happened. We came back and everybody was pissed off, and I wanted to know what happened, and then we found out.
You know, dude, honestly, like, I would have rather played my match in the bathroom because a lot of the tournament sets were in the hallway leading to the bathroom, which was a good 5 feet of space with about, I don't know, like 40 people congesting it. It was just, oh God, it was so uncomfortable in that fucking convention center.
It was a good bathroom, too.
No, it was really nice. It was a nice hotel bathroom.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Planet Zero.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
God, what an awful tournament.
Oh yeah, but it's behind us now.
I got ghosted. I got put in the losers by the DJ. That damn techno music in the hall was playing so loud that I couldn't hear my name called for pools in Street Fighter and Marvel.
That's horrible. That's fucking I forgot about that shit.
Terrible. Anyway.
Force Major, hell yeah. But
anyway.
But I guess that covers the main points we want to go over. The next one you want to go over versus the viability of offense versus the viability of defense.
Dude, okay, yeah. Like I was saying, this is hold that shit edition. It's because offense is so good and defense is really weak. And the fact that offense is so good and defense is very weak, it just exacerbates that swing. Like it's offense is heading skyrocket high and defense is going way down. I mean, there's a list of reasons why defense is so weak. Throw teching is hard. I mean, the window to throw tech is so narrow, and it's a 50-50 in and of itself.
And the worst part about it is the game mechanic of throw teching is already unintuitive to begin with.
Yeah.
Even in MK9, from now to MK9, I don't think I've ever done an intentional throw tech in my life. And that's okay.
I may have done one, but I mean, oh man, I was mashing that. And I still, if you ask me right now, I don't know which button text forward or back.
Me neither.
It's
I don't plan on learning either. I have no intention.
um, and it's really funny because characters with a really good standing one can kind of option select a throw tech. Kind of weird. Anyway, so meter is pretty much necessary for defense. Would you agree?
I'd mostly agree. I mean, it's hard because a lot of chains in this game are much less safe than they were in MK9, but the pace of the game is so much faster that even if you know it's punishable, there's not enough mental time to make the decision to punish.
The big thing,
yeah,
you need the meter in order to armor through their gaps because pressure's just way too good.
Which honestly, I'm just gonna put this on the table. I hate the idea of interruptible chains. I don't like that shit. I don't think it takes much skill, and I don't think it makes the game more interesting. I feel like it just punishes me for landing an opportunity. I got punished for getting in, you know? Because sometimes your only good chain, like Takeda, his best chain is so ridiculously interruptible, and I don't get that. That's not good. But go on, yes?
Yeah, okay. But you would agree meter is pretty much necessary for defense?
Definitely.
Okay.
And stamina, even.
Now, that being said, you don't gain meter for blocking. Did you realize that?
No, I didn't realize. And actually, if the game was designed a little better, I think that would be a good thing. And even the way it is, I wouldn't give that up. I do like the fact that you don't gain meter for blocking. Because that's the way it should be, in my opinion. I just think we're in an ugly situation where we have meter-dependent characters versus characters in the top 5 who I don't think are very meter-dependent. I think they're allowed to savor their meter. So you get really ugly situations and kind of ugly matchups.
Here's the problem with this. Tempest Kung Lao. Let's say he's sitting with 2 stocks of meter and, a little bit into his third one. He puts you in pressure. He starts doing his chain into Hadalite, or EX Hadalite. You're sitting there blocking it because that's all you can do. You have to hold that shit, okay?
Yeah.
You're not getting meter while he's doing this. He is, because on offense, you gain meter when your opponent blocks. So he's using meter and gaining it. He's going to use 3 stocks by the time he's done, and he'll be well into his first stock, built up by the time he's done pressuring you. And that's if he just keeps doing that and doesn't, do some other kind of mix-up.
And it's not just that he's building meter and you're not. It's that Kung Lao has his 1-1-2 chain builds so much meter. Even Raiden has this problem too. When he does electric on any of his chains, the amount of meter he's building is just unreasonable. That is the one nerf I would have given Johnny Cage in MK9. Do something about his meter building because he always has fucking meter.
Yeah.
And that forward dash, Johnny Cage was not a broken character by any means.
I don't want to get on a Johnny Cage MK9.
No, definitely. But I just feel like the meter building is a little ridiculous. But, honestly, I'm okay with it. I definitely agree it's ridiculous. I don't want to get rid of that. I want to help the defensive guys more. I don't want.
I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm just.
Definitely.
I'm highlighting why defense is very weak. Okay. Now, the armor window on many of the reversal or wake up attacks is pretty narrow. I mean, many characters have godlike wake up and reversal attacks. Kung Lao's spin. That thing is so active that even if you try to break through its armor, it's so active it's going to catch you, versus Ermax, okay? Teleport. The armor on that is so narrow. They have to hit you right in the startup. Otherwise you don't get your armor. And then they even if you teleport, there's still a huge gap between you getting to the other side and actually doing the little 1, 2, 3 blast on his EX teleport,
Yeah.
It's not a very active move. And then his EX Force Blast, which has just a crazy hitbox, it always seems to whiff. Oh, God. So, this is kind of a character-by-character thing, but there's a lot of characters who don't have a very good reversal or wake-up.
And you know, in a way, well, let's. I guess kind of jumping forward. Do you think it's a good thing that defense is bad, or a bad thing that defense is bad?
I think it's bad to have defense this bad when offense is so good.
I just don't know what I would change. Because I kind of like it the way it is, to be honest with you.
I think there's too many stuff that is meter positive or not meter positive, that is frame positive on block and leads to another mix up. Like Shinnok's Hellspark, meter burn, Aaron Black's glass ball. I mean, that's like a clear like winners and losers kind of thing when it comes to characters. Like I have a safe attack that is also a combo starter, but also gives me another mix-up opportunity if you block it.
With some characters, I think it makes sense, though. I mean, Shinnok, obviously, I think it does make sense because his neutral game is very weak. And I don't think people realize how much Shinnok gives up when he uses a bar meter. He loses so much.
No, I know. Yeah, yeah. I believe me, I get it. I'm not saying change. I'm not saying change anything.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I'm just making some observations.
Well, I'm not saying it now. I think after
Yeah.
Evo, it's time. Let's get the Nerf bat and let's go to town.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a big change once Evo's done.
Yeah. Okay. Continuing on, Breaker is much weaker from MK9, and MK9. I remember I get so salty because I played Ermac, you played Smoke. You get me in a combo, I'd break, and you were or no. I get you in a combo, you'd break, and then you had pressure on me. Like that was ridiculous.
Good times.
So thankfully they made Breaker to where you don't get pressure for breaking, and I'm happy with that.
And you know where I stand on that. I would just get rid of Breaker for up to me. I don't like.
No. I like a breaker or burst mechanic. I think Marvel would have been a lot better with a burst mechanic, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, you are getting a reward when you force them to break. You're taking 2 of their meter, and I've already highlighted how meter is important in this game.
Yeah. What about instead of having a breaker? Why not just get rid of the mechanic and just make 1 meter block burst? You know, just so it's sort of like a get them off me, like Injustice had.
Like an alpha counter. I know what
Exactly.
you're saying, but I don't know. I'm fine with a breaker. I wouldn't want to like if we're talking about eventually changing the game. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the
I
design
do-
of the game. Oh yeah.
I mean, I 2 meter block breaker is pretty expensive, and does it wipe out your stamina as well? Like, is it just like a breaker on block?
I don't know if it wipes out your stamina, but even if it didn't,
It
I don't
does.
think.
It does. Yeah. So
that
I'm
thing is
not going
past
to do
that.
that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait until I guess wrong and get in a combo, and then I'm going to break.
Precisely, there's no reason to use it. I'd rather just say, assume I'm going to guess right, and then if I get hit, whatever, time to break. Because it's the same cost. I don't think there's any benefit to block breaking in this game, but
I mean, yeah. It's too weak. Like even if even if it was just 2 meters and didn't wipe out your stamina, you might see some people using it.
well, what I would do, here's my compromise, because I think even 1 block of meter is too much. I don't want it to be used that often. I would say 1 block of meter, and you take, I'd say maybe like 5% damage. That's what I would do. I would want them to use this when they have to. I don't want this to be a get out of jail free thing.
It'd be worth it just to see someone kill themselves.
You just explode.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Breakality. And then continuing on, I mean, it keeps going why defense is weak. Backdash. Backdash is not very useful.
And I think a lot of people are using it wrong, though. I think what people should be using Backdash for is to get out of pressure setups. I don't really feel like it's a wake-up tool like I originally thought it should be.
The problem is so many of the top characters, their strings advance them and catch the backdash just normally. Like, and it's not like it's not like a Street Fighter 4 thing where you're doing a really unsafe move or some really slow move to catch a backdash. Like you're doing your normal pressure and it catching backdashes.
I think all they need is distance. I think just add a little distance to each backdash because
Yeah,
backdashes
I
don't
agree.
really cover any ground right now.
I agree.
And
I
forward
mean,
dashes, well, those aren't even a thing. So yeah,
Aaron Black, every single one of his strings moves him forward by like 10 yards. You know, like the forward one, the overhead, like he
oh
lunges
yeah.
forward. The 2-1-1-2-2, whatever that string is, he's constantly moving forward, and he gets full combos off of all of them. I'm salty about Aaron Black. I'm sorry.
You in the world, man. That character's really good, and I
Yeah.
feel like people were kind of pulling the whole. Is he really that good? I feel like he's kind of like the Black Adam of this game. Where
No,
people
he's
are
totally
like,
good.
yeah, he's absolutely good.
He's I've told you this, but I think he's like the cabal of this game. He doesn't have nomad dash cancels, but he has so many tools. Uh, like can you name like just like a general hole he has?
I mean, to be fair, I don't play the character, but no, I can't. I got nothing.
Yeah, just off the top of your head, like I'd have to really like investigate like what this guy's holes are. I mean, in Outlaw, he's got that godlike neutral jump punch. He's got 50-50 mix-ups. He's got the safe EX sand grenade that launches and starts a combo. He can convert off of any errant juggle hit. Um, he can zone you out. He has his normal strings that zone. That's a lightning fast projectile. You know, the one where he kicks the gun to fire it.
Yeah, and you know, after Evo, it's all going to end. I think. I
And
think
he
there's
has a
such a
command
tidal
grab.
wave.
He has a that tick throw is ridiculous.
It is one of many tick throw setups as well. Like, he has a lot of ways to land that, as far as I know.
I mean, just decent zoning, amazing rush down, and a tick throw, command grab.
I feel like it's almost like the Ono mentality where he makes characters good because he wants to promote them. I feel like that's what's going on in a way. God knows we didn't see that in story mode though, but
Yeah, I almost want to say like Aaron Black was like a very late addition after the fan response. Because he has a very Swiss Army knife. Like, let's just throw it all on him, you know?
they had Fujin on the select screen. They're like, we got to put this cowboy in.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna start and make you all salty about that.
Oh, I will. I'll do it for you. Fucking Fuji. Anyway, but there's another talking point which I think is very interesting though. Although, was there any other points on? Because I do agree with you, but I guess the difference is I kind of like it the way it is. I like the
Okay,
fact that
yeah.
defense is weak. But
And
were there any
on
finishing
top
thoughts?
of finally, and on top of all this, option selects exist. You know, and there's some defensive option selects, but come on, it's the option select's all about doing safe pressure. Like,
God,
you know,
that's I hate it more than the input glitch, to be honest with you, because it makes characters who are already good even better. That's
Yeah.
why I hate them. Why should Devora have safe setups? Why should Aaron Black have safe meter setups?
see, Devora doesn't even need an option select. She has the wasp cancel to make shit safe.
Just God, but I don't know. Like I know they're sort of a byproduct of making a fighting game. There's no way
Yeah.
around them. But
Yeah,
what
like
scares? Yeah.
philosophically, I'm just going to put this out there. Philosophically, I hate option selects. I think they're boring. I think they artificially increase the barrier for getting into fighting games, which is already a pretty high barrier to start with. Because you know, I don't like them, man. They really limit your ceiling if you don't know about them. You know, they're not something in like visible on the game that I know I have to learn. You know.
Well, even if you know they exist, they're not something you can learn in a matchup. Like if you're fighting option selects against Abel in Street Fighter, you can't tell he's doing them unless you've done your homework.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that was already a thing, you wouldn't even know to look. I don't want to learn every character's fucking option selects because I might run into them in tournament. I
Yeah.
fucking hate that shit. I hate what it does to the meta. And
It's
that's
just
one
an
of two things
artificial
that-
difficulty increase, you know, in my opinion. I and like I am a very play to win guy. Like if I was going to tournaments and everything, I would be learning option selects and I would be abusing the heck out of them. I mean, I'm still trying to kind of use them, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I tried learning the option select for this game. I gave up because I in training mode I was learning that I was doing the option select, but it's something hard to practice because there's no way of knowing if you did it right unless you change the AI settings and find out that you were only landing it about 50% of the time.
And for just in case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, an option select is a command that you input that allows the game to decide what the best thing is. So in Mortal Kombat, a common option select is Raiden's back two, the overhead where you chop, chop, chop. If you delay the input of the shocker, shocker will only come out on block. So it'll cancel the very unsafe overhead into shocker and make Raiden safe. But on hit, shocker doesn't come out.
And you get the full combo, usually
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. And that one, believe it or not, even though I think it needs to go, it's fucked up. It has to be gone tonight. It's really the meter one that pisses me off, where you do a down input, and if your EX special won't come out,
It doesn't have to be EX. It can be normal. Directional inputs screw up any kind of special input.
See, I didn't know that, but that's even worse. That drives me insane because a lot of characters who don't need that option select are operating on that, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, the low tier characters need that," and I'm like, they're the ones putting up with the bullshit, in my opinion. So, it grinds my gears so hard. But
So I mean, that's kind of how I wrap up how defense is weak. All those bullet points.
I mean, that's one thing that drove me away from Street Fighter 4 was I just didn't want to learn all that shit. This is not fun anymore, you know.
Oh,
I love Street Fighter 4, I do, but
Yeah, like I remember when Momochi, emerged and won Capcom Cup, and then started dominating left and right, and then all of a sudden he comes out and he's like, "Oh, by the way, guys, here's some tech," and like it was this crazy like option select that covered so many scenarios, and like it doesn't take anything away from his wins, but you're like, wow, it's like an arms race. Like that's what happened after Combo Breaker because Dizzy was using option selects at Combo Breaker when no one thought those would be coming out that quick. Like they had like just gotten discovered, and they figured that people were going to wait a little while to really learn how to use them properly. But Dizzy was like, "Nah, I got this." And on Twitter, Dizzy was like, Combo Breaker was kind of the start of the option select arms race.
it drives me nuts, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hate it. I hate it.
we can say it doesn't take anything away from his losses, but I mean, to his wins, but I kind of feel like it does. I mean, because part of that victory goes credit to the game, because the option select, the game decided what the best option was and utilized that. It wasn't necessarily him. He wasn't making right guesses. So I'm not saying he didn't deserve to win, but I am saying if we're going to give credit where credit is due, we have to give part of it to the game system at least, you know?
To be honest, I'd rather Raiden do the back two overhead and the shocker to make it safe because I don't think he's as plus as if he does forward 1-2. So I'd prefer it if he did that instead of forward 1-2, forward 1-2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, thank God that got nerfed. Did you see Pig of the Huts match against Dizzy?
Yeah.
That was that hurt to watch.
Yeah.
Because Pig's one of my favorite players, and he's a character loyalist with Kenshi. And so you really want to see him win with Kenshi, and he couldn't. Raiden wouldn't let him.
It really surprised me too, because I thought he was going to drop Kenshi, but he never did. Because in Injustice, he drops Sinestro like that. But so I thought, okay, well he's going to default to someone else, and he never did. He really is truly a character loyalist. He said before Zod came out, "I will play Zod, and I will only play Zod." And thank God he was top tier, but he stuck to his word, and he did it with this game too. He didn't necessarily know buffs were coming.
Had Zod not come out, he still would be crying about Sinestro.
Well, no, because eventually people would have figured out the Vortex, and Sinestro was debatably a top 5.
He would have stuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Pig is a very passionate player, and he gets salty, and he just tries to persevere through it. Like he'll say, "I'm done. I'm dropping this," but then he'll go back into the lab. And he's like, "Oh, I found something out," and then he'll go try it again. Like that. That's kind of the way I've seen Pig operate. I love Pig of the Hut. I'm not trying to trash him or anything. The dude is cool as heck. I don't know if he listens to this. I was the guy that sent you a message on TYM a while back when I was getting ready to have my first kid, because I heard your interview about you having a kid and you were still able to maintain a high level of Mortal Kombat play, and I thought that was just so cool because I thought my life was going to be over, and that was really good to hear that you could still have like a life beyond your kid.
And I mean, it fits him perfectly because there's such a sincerity to the guy when you listen to him talk, and I hope he listens to this. But part of me would be a little nervous about that because when he gave his top 10 on stream, that changed like the very next week. So I'm like, fuck.
yeah. I don't even know what it is now.
Yeah. So
I had the last one I heard that he gave a combo breaker, but even then, that's completely different because now Tanya's there. Tanya's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I figured she would be.
Before we get off of Pig of the Hut, he announced recently on Twitter that he's expecting his number 2 kid. So congrats to Pig.
Oh, huge congrats to him. No, that's I mean, I can't relate, obviously, but I admire at least.
None of you can.
Oh yeah, just dude, cats wear me out. I can't imagine having a kid.
It's all good. It's pretty fun.
No, absolutely, and but I mean, I think one thing we both can relate to is that life affected the way we perceived fighting games. Like life kind of made us decide: are we going to go hardcore into this, or are we going to treat this as a hobby we're passionate about?
Basically,
we both landed on the second.
Yeah, I kind of treat fighting games the way old rich white guys treat golf. Like they spend way too much money on it. They're not very good at it, and they watch it on TV all damn day.
I'm definitely in that category.
That's my relationship with fighting games at the moment.
But I think that's a healthy relationship. I think that's, in a way, dude. I think if you're not winning, that's the way it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to shave points off my score. Lower my stroke count.
But that's all I need. I don't know if I need more than that.
No, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Like I'm doing this because I'm basically like the ESPN is full of people who were not good enough for the majors, or they were just good enough to barely get in there.
Yeah.
And then they retired, and then they're like, I'm going to go on TV. That's essentially what I'm doing right now.
That's honestly, dude, I think I'm happier doing
I'm
that.
the Trent Dilfer of fighting games. Because Trent Dilfer fraudulently won a Super Bowl.
See, I have no idea who that is.
You're fine. You're fine.
I will see another day. But I mean, I don't know. Just burning your ass out playing fighting games all the time, and the energy it takes and to do all that. And you have to want to win. You obviously can't do it for the money.
And you need a good support network. Like all these top players, they have other people constantly pushing them to get better. And my scene just doesn't have that.
Your scene has less than that now, because at least when I lived there, we had a gaming venue. Do you even have that in Corpus anymore?
No. They tried to get something going on, and it was just a train wreck. There's not enough good personalities in the scene that are able to really care enough or have the ability to invest in it. Like the people who do have the time, they're not right to do it. The people who don't have the time are the ones that could be the leaders, but sadly, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I think Corpus already has a problem, the fact that it's sort of isolated anyway. And it just, the group itself, even if it was more dedicated, it's still a small group, I think. Corpus is only going to have so much pull.
Yeah.
The most pull it has is McAllen, which is a great scene, which is surprisingly a really good scene. And there's a reason for that. It's because...
Oh, the Valley is great. There's a lot of good people there.
Well, all the best players live like 10 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
Like, one of my biggest training partners in San Antonio is Matt, and he lives like 35 minutes away from me. So it's God, I'll never fucking. What's up?
San Antonio has a central location, though. They have that arcade, right?
That's true. And it's a great arcade. Ultra Arcade is so sick. I love going there.
That's
just
in California, when Super Arcade was still going on. I don't know what's going on with Super Arcade right now, but when it was doing the whole Wednesday night fights thing, I mean, there was people coming from all over California to go to Wednesday night fights.
I can tell you what happened to Wednesday night fights, by the way.
Well, I know what I heard that there was kind of a little breakup or something, but
well, not even that. What happened was they found a new place, and what happens is whenever you move into a new suite, apparently, according to California law, everyone who's already operating business on that suite has a say on whether you can move in or not. And someone shot him down. Someone already who had a business operating there said, no, we don't want this in our plaza. And now Mike Watson has to appeal that.
Wow.
It's dumb. California state law is not the funnest place to operate business in, but yeah, so that's a thing.
I mean, that's sad too, because Wednesday night fights, like, that was like a farm system for good players, man.
And it was also I think it really helped stream monstering a lot. I think it got people watching, who a lot of people at the time, because Wednesday night fights started at a time where tournaments just weren't nearly as common. So if you want to see good high level play.
Yeah, people bring up the 08ers, the 09ers when Street Fighter 4 came out.
Yes.
2011 was when Marvel 3 came out, and that's when Wednesday night fights like really got going.
Because there was a clear demand for, viewership and streams, and the tournaments just weren't adequate enough to meet that demand. So Wednesday night fights was a miracle at the time.
Yeah.
Now you can watch a stream, you can watch high level play almost every night of the year. So
yeah,
I think a lot of other players. Yeah,
we're digressing again.
I don't remember what we digressed from, dude.
I think we were going to get into Tanya.
Well, even before we do that, I have a question for Django. You there, Django?
What do you want?
Your character's like decent, right? Your character's been doing cool stuff at the moment.
Talking about Takeda?
Oh yeah.
You're talking about Jason, right?
Nah, although also doing pretty well. There's a good Jason.
No, listen, for the past like 2 weeks, I've been completely out of the loop. That's why I don't have anything constructive really to add this episode. So, but what's going on with Takeda? What's he doing?
People are getting top 8s with him, man.
I saw some good Takeda shit. Fuck, last thing I saw was Combo Breaker. So
yeah, there was Chaotic Raptor from Combo playing Takeda, and here's the thing: he was playing smart. He wasn't doing stupid things.
I can't do it then.
He wasn't doing wake up neutral jump punch all over.
That's not my Takeda.
Hey dudes, Django here. At this point in the pod, we dropped the audio for a second, but we didn't lose much of anything, which is good. So we just jumped right back in and started talking about Tanya. So just imagine there's some awesome segue right here from talking about my Takeda, who is shitty, to Tanya, who is apparently good. So that just happened. And here we go.
So what's up with Tanya?
She's good. I think she has a very high ceiling.
But she's not dumb. She's really good in my opinion, without being like easy mode, which I really respect.
Her runaway capability is amazing. She may have the best wake up game. That EX teleport may be the best wake up move in the game.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I can't think of anything else. Off the top of your head, is there another wake up option? Because it moves her hitboxes. It doesn't just give her invincibility. For anyone. Like, what would be a competing wake-up move? I can't think of anything.
EX spin, maybe.
Maybe, but at least his hitboxes stay on the ground. Like, Tanya's just out.
I mean, it's unsafe on block. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, this thing, it can start a combo if it hits. The only way to really avoid it is to duck. And even if you stick out a normal or something ducking, she's just gonna armor through it, and it gets her out of the corner. Like, it's amazing.
It's good. It's hella good.
Tom Brady was trying to. He posted a couple videos like trying to demonstrate how to beat it. and I didn't watch it all. I wasn't able to watch it all because it was lunch break and I was getting back to work. But basically, it was like you have to have a godlike neutral jump punch, like Kung Jin, and you hit it at a certain range, and you neutral jump, and so when she EXs, she'll go right under you, and you can neutral jump punch and punish her, which is not very encouraging to me.
It's not encouraging, and I don't want to do a raw neutral jump punch on Oki. That doesn't sound like
No,
it'd
I
be
mean,
effective in all
and
scenarios.
I don't recall like what kind of timing he did, but like if I'm neutral jumping in the air, that gives Tanya more than enough time to not teleport. I mean, she can hit deconfirm. I don't know what exactly you call that.
Exactly.
A reaction. It's a reaction. Just call it a reaction.
Well, I mean, like, you were talking about MIT's Tanya. What made MIT's Tanya special?
Okay, he was using Kobujutsu, and he actually beat Sonic Fox in grand finals at Next Level Battle Circuit, which is the weeklies in New York that's spooky streams. And he was applying the pressure. I don't know her notations yet, but she has a string where she actually swings the tonfas. It's not the rekas, but like he does, swing, and then into the rekas, and that does a ton of chip damage. And because it's a Rekka, you can hit confirm the EX to do a launcher,
Do you know if it's interruptible? Because I actually don't know.
I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think Sonic Fox knew what to do either. Because after he lost, he went on Twitter and he's like, man, I got to figure out what to do against Tanya. So that means Sonic Fox wasn't able to adapt to it. And I told you how good he is at adapting.
It's the DLC character curse, man. Like, so many DLC characters are just amazing. The first one's never that impressive. Your Scarlet's... Oh, well, Scarlet was good. But, I mean, Lobo, yeah. And then Jason, who's probably viable, but just not... No one's really blown away by Jason yet.
Yeah.
And now we got, like, Batgirl 2.0. And I actually think it's cool. I like it. I like the fact that we have really powerful DLC characters.
Yeah, she's not silly with the 50-50. She just has amazing pressure, and she just plays games with the teleport, man. Like, you never know when you can really go in. In Sonic Fox, he properly spaced, here and there. But for the most part, MIT was getting away for free with the ports just going all over the place. And, like, there's no cross-ups in the game, but you can, like, if you're jumping... Anything that can change your jump arc is a powerful tool, whether it's a dive kick or an air teleport. But Sonic Fox, he likes the any-air with his strings. Well, she's teleported to the other side, and now you're stuck in those long animations. And that's the one thing I will say Aaron Black has, is he has very long string animations.
And there's a possibility that even if there is a good answer to it, people may never adapt. There's some things in MK9 that people just never adapted to, like the down one cutter. I don't think anyone ever really got used to that, except for the highest of the high.
Well, Sonic Fox, he ended up trying to counterpick with Ermac, just to try and find some kind of solution. And it was a blow up. I've already talked about how I don't think Ermac's a very strong character. And he just really couldn't do anything against Tanya's pressure. He tried to EX port. Tanya, turned around and swung at his face when Ermac came onto the other side. So... I think, if people do figure her out, which may happen, but I think she's going to have a lot of success here.
But, I mean, I guess the reason why it doesn't bother me is because it's a character design that doesn't shut down the game. That's what drove me crazy with Cabal and Kenshi, is that they hit the off button on footsies. You're not allowed to play footsies anymore. You're going to have to chase me, or you're going to have to guess against me.
The teleport kind of comes close. I think it's just coming up to the edge because, I mean, no character has that kind of mobility.
And that's true. We're going to see in time. Time will show all. But
yeah, she's good. That's my verdict. I think she's a solid character.
I would agree with that, and as I wanted her to be. And that kind of brings us to the last topic, patching. Do you want another patch? When do you want another patch?
After Evo, at the very earliest.
I would say not even at the earliest. For me, I would say just Evo. Like, at July 30th, let's bring out a patch. When would you bring out a patch?
Well, I'd want some time to really process what actually happens at Evo. You know, I don't know. You know, like one thing that happens in the other games, non-NRS games, is that you'll have top players that will save tech. It's really hard to do nowadays with all the recording and streaming that goes on.
With all the tournaments that happen, because you
Yeah,
don't want to save your tech for Evo when you have CEO and East Coast
yeah,
Throwdown right in
right.
front of you.
But I'm sure it still happens, and I don't know if it happens at all in the NRS scene. Like I don't know if this scene is like
Well, it comes down to the TYM scene. Everyone's fishing for props, dude. So
yeah, exactly. Like it's such a different scene, and I think they're just constantly pushing each other. And uh, then you have the Yomi guys with 10 top players on that squad, and they're figuring stuff out, and you gotta think they're leaking it out to other people. I mean that'd be a hell of a secrecy pact if they can keep that to themselves. So. I don't know if we'll see anything crazy unexpected at Evo, like maybe someone's pocket character. But I still think that once Evo happens, like there needs to be some time to process it and some discussion going on. Not the day after, like maybe a month at the earliest after. I think.
Well, I guess I half agree with you. If top eight Evo changes the way I see the game, then you're absolutely right. I want to see how this affects future tournaments for at
Yeah.
least a little while. But if it ends up being like Injustice 2013, where it's just like it's exactly what we expected, and everyone's just using the best thing that was already the best thing a month earlier, then I'm like, let's mix things up. So it's sort of a fork in the road depending on what happens at Evo.
Yeah, because as of right now, I don't know what I'd patch. Like I don't feel like I have enough data to really look at something and say, yes, patch that shit right now.
We already kind of know what's coming. Eris was streaming and Paula was in the stream. He said there is a damage buff coming for Reptile, so we know that's on the way. And I
Okay,
think
well, yeah.
Reptiles, yeah,
There's little adjustments like that where yeah, this character's damage is a little low. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But
and
I think Tempest Kung Lao, he may need some kind of a nerf, whether it's to his meter gain or just meter gain in general on offense. Maybe needs a tone down. I don't know.
yeah, meter gain's the only thing I would change. I think other than that, I love him. I mean, granted, I play him now, so I'm a little biased,
Yeah.
but I mean,
So
even Shinnok, the buffs they gave Shinnok are not what I would have given Shinnok. I would have given him a completely different set of buffs. I wanted a better neutral game. I didn't really want better offense, but that's me. But yeah, go on.
I that's pretty much it. I really don't want a repeat of MK9 where there was some really knee jerk stuff that happened.
Yeah,
And some really weird not knee jerk stuff like Kano getting nerfed out of nowhere. Like
no, I agree with that nerve. I know it's not popular, but I think that up ball was dumb. It was so fun. Kano was just a bad character design. So if you take away his dumb shit, yeah, he's going to be a bad character.
but they changed other stuff about him too, didn't they?
Yeah, the knives, they slowed down. And I agree with that. That was fucked up. They should not have done that. It was just the up ball. It's the only thing I had a problem with. But you're right, though. The other stuff I think was unreasonable.
There's a lot of really bad designs in MK9.
I think they nerfed Jade. Her fucking, I think, is it her up three got nerfed? I'm like,
Yeah, well, who was abusing that?
oh man, that's so sad. But and Mournful is still not very great in this game, so the Jade legacy lives on. But okay, I guess I do have one more question for you though.
At least she had an infinite for a little while.
Yeah, although no one really demonstrated it. They just did like 3 reps and said, "By the way, this is an infinite." I'm like, can you do more? Can you time out the
Well,
clock for me?
she got banned by ESL really quick, and no one was going to use her in a tournament.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, but I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Actually, this has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. Killer Instinct is coming to PC in 2016. Are
Yeah.
you interested at all? Are you going to jump in the ring with me and Django?
I haven't seen the system requirements yet. My PC is just getting on the edge where because I can't run Far Cry 4 or Dragon Age Origins on my PC now. So I'm gonna have to see what the system requirements are.
Yeah,
But
I can't even run Borderlands 2 on my fucking computer unless it's like at 10 frames per second.
yeah, and I was gonna upgrade to a new computer, but I've had some other financial stuff happen to where that's not feasible in the near future.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. If I can run it, then hell yeah, I'm gonna.
Sweet. That's what I want to hear.
Because Killer Instinct may be aesthetically the most pleasing game out there right now. I think, like, it nailed the character designs. It nailed like their stages, their theme songs. It's such a cool package.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I know you had a lot of skepticism going on back at the E3 reveal, and I think the game looks much better now.
It was a fireworks show. It was particle effects everywhere. It was really dumb.
Those weren't the characters that looked good in my opinion either. They all came later.
Yeah, like season 1 is still kind of meh, whatever. But man, season 2 and 3, they really got some cool designs.
You would probably love Conra. I look at that character and I'm like, dude, this is Prey. It's hard calling you Praetor, man. But
well,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I mean, we really haven't played other games other than MK and
Street Fighter. We
said,
played a good deal of Street Fighter.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much a Rushdown guy now.
Okay, well, you have your characters then. There's definitely a good portion of KI that's Rushdown. Saberwolf, you'd fall in love with real quick then. And even Combo's a little less intuitive, but I think you'd have a lot of fun with that guy.
Yeah, it's just going to be about finding a character I enjoy. Like, Hisako looks really cool to me. And
well, I just love the character. Like, she's everything I love about characters. You know, just a very emotional story, just very good design, unique. It's everything I look for. So it's not going to be for gameplay with shit. I'd still love her.
And I can't talk about KI without giving a shout out to Tattoo Chris, who provided the vocals on Omen's theme song.
It just fucking is amazing at the game in general. That guy is so fucking good at everything.
That dude is one of the most talented guys. Like, if you've seen, like, he's a tattoo artist by trade, and he posts a lot of his artwork on Facebook all the time. That dude is such a good artist. God.
It doesn't even stop there, dude, because if you meet the guy, like, he's just super cool to hang out with, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I met him in Kingsville, dude, and, like, the dude is just so chill and easy to hang with.
Like, when I met him, like, you had mentioned me to him. Like, oh, yeah, my buddy, he plays the game, too. Like, check him out in Corpus. And, like, I saw a guy covered in tattoos. I was like, I gotta be Tattoo Chris.
It's a safe assumption.
So I said, hey, man, are you Tattoo Chris? And he's like, yeah. He's like, are you Will? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. Temp told me about you. And it was instant. He was just the coolest guy.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I don't remember telling him about you, but I guess I did. I guess
it might have been when he beat your ass at GatoCon that one.
Yeah,
time.
no. Second place, still proud of it. Beat Joel, man. Who at the time was good, so I'm taking that victory. I'm going to put that on my shelf. But I think Chris is just what I look for in top players in terms of a community. Like, respect to a lot of the Corpus guys, but they don't always feel the most inclusive. Like, I love Jewel Man, you know, but I don't. I think it's very cliquey, you know.
There's too much trolling going on, man.
Yeah,
I've complained about it before. I'll complain about it again. They can't take anything seriously, man.
Yeah, but I mean, but once I got used to them, I love them a lot. Of course.
No, yeah, I you know.
But you're right. The trolling is fucking.
It's just too much.
God.
Like, there's a time for it, but.
Noel, when Skullgirls came out, dude, that guy is so fucking funny. He's such a mirage because he's so quiet and reserved, and then when he talks, I'm laughing my ass off, dude. Fucking, I miss Noel.
Yeah, he's still around, doing his work thing. I mean, he's like you and me. He's working. Doesn't really have time for it.
All right, well, I guess that's the show. Django, anything else, man?
I think you guys did a pretty good job of covering it. Sorry I didn't say much, but I mean, you know, for this episode, I kind of felt like an audience member, so I hope you guys liked it as much as I did. Out there in listener land.
I've been waiting to record this since Combo Breaker.
I know. I've kept
Like,
canceling. It's been all my bad.
It's all right. It's all right.
I mean, you had good
I'm-
reasons too, man. So we get it.
I'm looking forward to when we can really hit a tournament like fresh off, and we talk about one tournament and like all the interesting matches that happened, because we kind of had to give a high level thing this time.
Which was fun. In a way, I kind of wanted to do that more. Now that Combo Breaker's kind of under the bridge, I was actually more interested about talking about the game. And even honestly, dude, like even I'm not playing that much lately. Like, me and Jeremy are about to go record in Austin, and I'm just playing the shit out of my bass and my guitar. I'm not. And I play guitar, but I'm not a guitar player, so I'm working fucking overtime over here.
I'm learning the violin. Yeah.
Good shit, dude. We should jam.
Yeah.
What's the next tournament coming up?
CEO, right?
Is it CEO? When
I
is
think
it?
so. Yeah.
That's gonna be in Florida. I don't know when it is to be. I think usually it's like 1 or 2 weeks before Evo.
I'll try and Google it real quick. But yeah, that's going to be a huge tournament. Huge.
Oh yeah.
CEO. I can't just search for CEO. Yeah. Community effort Orlando.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything since Combo Breaker, so
June 26th through 28th.
okay.
That's really soon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very
And
soon.
then-
That's like a week.
And Evo's a month away.
And we're Redman wants to be on the show too, and Redman he's on Xbox, unfortunately. But dude, he's good. He really wanted to talk about Combo Breaker, and that is probably not going to happen now. But
No, yeah, that window's passed.
yeah, but I'm looking forward to having him on the show as well. But dude, Praetor, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
thanks
thanks
for being
for having
on.
Just great talking to you as always, dude. Look forward to seeing you in Corpus, man. And yeah, I hope it's been fun for you too, man.
Yeah. Until then, hold that shit.
I will do that day and night.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed it.
Peace.
Peace.
I can hear that square jaw.